Hello Illuminati, my name is Jeremy Mason McGraw and we are here today with another video. Today we're going to be talking about routine maintenance for your Halumin C. So there are a couple of housekeeping issues that you might want to know about that you'll have to deal with from time to time using your Halumin C, and I thought I'd make a quick video and just show you what those are and the easiest way to accomplish those. I'll put links to all the products that I'm talking about in this video below. Feel free to look around. These are the ones that I've found work best and I've tested, but you can use whatever you like. There are lots of options. Now the first issue I'm going to talk about is dust. You're going to get dust in your Halumin C from time to time, and it's going to be in places that you're not going to be able to access unless you open up part of the Halumin. I'm going to show you how to do that really simply. It's very, very easy, and you're going to have to perform it from time to time. Anyway, you are going to need a couple of things. The first is a T20 Torx screwdriver head. These are the little 6-lobed star screwdriver heads. They're very, very common, but that's the size of the screw that hold the lid together. You'll probably want one of these. This is a high-pressure dust blower. I find them very useful, not just for using it with the Halumin C, but for cleaning out electronics and all kinds of things. Got links below on these. On the lid assembly, there are some different sides. There's the side with the door on it. There's the side that has the little notch that goes on the front. And then there is a side that is completely blank. That's what we're going to be focusing on. You can see that there are 2 screws on the bottom of that panel, and we're going to unscrew those 2 screws using our Torx screwdriver. The screws will come out very easily, and they are not very long, so you just twist those guys out. They are gripping into the plastic, so whenever you tighten these, you don't want to tighten them too tight. You can see those screws come off very easily. Once those screws are off, just set them aside, and now this panel will pull out. It might be kind of snug at first, but it should come out if you pull it down. There's no glue or any additional adhesive or anything that's holding it in. So it just slides on that ridge all the way out, and you can see inside the guts of the lid. There is this mirror at a 45-degree angle, this piece of plexiglass, and that will inevitably get dust in it. You don't want to touch that piece of plexiglass. If by some chance you do end up touching it or there's some sort of a smudge on it, use rubbing alcohol and a lintless cloth, like a microfiber cloth, and lightly brush that away. And then wait for it to dry and then brush over it again with a microfiber cloth, but try not to push too hard, and the best option is just to not touch that panel at all. Once you have it open, you'll use the blower and you'll just blow the dust out like this. You blow on top, on bottom, and get under there, and that should just whip the dust off of that piece of acrylic. Once that is off, that's all you need to do. Make sure that you don't have any dust in there. If you do, blow it again, and then once you're finished, we just slide that panel back in, and we put those screws back on. You're not going to want to tighten these too much. You just basically screw them down until the head of the screw touches the panel, and that is all that you will need. That is all for cleaning the dust out. So that is the most common thing that you're going to have to do in terms of maintenance on your Halumin C. Another thing that people have asked about is they're worried that they might scratch this top panel when their phone moves around on it. We included the phone adapter that sits on top, and that should prevent your phone from actually touching the panel, but inevitably things are going to happen. If you want to protect that panel, that is a 60mm in diameter hole, and I have found these protective covers that you can buy on Amazon that perfectly fit that. And so you wipe it down with alcohol, put this on there, and this will protect that piece of acrylic from scratching And you can just replace that in the future if you need to replace it with something that doesn't have any scratches on it. On the back side, you will see there is this black piece of film, and this is called microlouver film. It is not attached. There's no glue or any screws holding that. That is so you had access to the back of the plexiglass acrylic in case you needed to clean it from this side and get up in there without having to like squeeze in or whatever. We wanted to make that as easy as possible and thought the easiest way would just be to be able to remove this. But this is directional, and it's something that you need to know about. If this comes out for any reason and you need to get it back in, you can see that it's clear, and if I tilt it this way or this way, nothing happens, but when I go up or down, it turns black. So if you have it like this, it's not the right polarity. You want it like this, where it is black at any angle. This directs the light directly onto the piece of acrylic, but does not allow the light to spill onto the coin. So you just want to slide it into the slots. It slides underneath this little piece and all the way into there. When you get there, you'll feel there's a ridge on the back of this piece, and it should sit up in that ridge, and that will keep it from sliding out. And so you'll know it's correct. You can see that that hole disappears. When I turn it up, it should look very dark from any angle up or down. I hope those 3 tips were of some value to you when using your Halumin C, and be sure to follow this channel for more tips and tricks and information on both Halumin and Halumin C, as well as new products, news, and all that type of stuff. If you have any additional questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below this video. You can also reply to the confirmation email that you got when you ordered your Halumin C, or you can use the chat window that is on our website. Either way, I will get those comments and I will do my best to respond as quickly as possible.